This presentation will focus on an initial investigation into whether or not the Centre for Further Education and Training, in which I am currently employed, is providing opportunities for authentic student voice. We will begin by discussing why student voice is important. We will then reflect on how it is currently catered for in my setting and the validity of these options. We will hear what my students had to say and consider where to go from here. So why is student voice important? Students have invaluable views on their own education and should be treated as experts in their own lives. By facilitating learner voice, we provide an opportunity to empower students to participate meaningfully and collaboratively in improving their experience of school. Studies have demonstrated a number of potential benefits for students when their opinions are taken into account and they encounter an authentic response to their views and research input. These benefits include a significant improvement in the quality of their relationship with teachers and their sense of belonging and connectedness to the school, and as a consequence, an improvement in self-reported levels of confidence and well-being, a heightened sense of being cared for, as well as a general experience of comfort in their education environment. SOLACE's Future Facts Strategy 2020 to 2024 highlights learner experience as one of the 4 key pillars. It states that an essential focus of the strategy is to ensure the development of a system that is learner-centred, and that learner participation is paramount to a future successful learner-centred approach. It acknowledges that the VET learner base is incredibly diverse and that VET settings must encourage and reflect this diversity, and highlights that more effective means of representation should be developed, ensuring a clear learner voice. Charteris and Thomas propose that a student voice approach can provide further information in the form of a learner lens for teachers to reflect on and take pedagogic action. So with this in mind, how is learner voice currently facilitated in my centre? At present, there are a number of methods in place to encourage and provide opportunities for learner voice. These include student-tutor one-to-one meetings, something similar to a parent-teacher meeting we see in other areas of education, and Feedback Friday, a day in which students can meet with their individual class teachers to discuss their progress and any issues they have in an individual class. Both of these provide an invaluable out-of-class opportunity for students to discuss their experiences and any issues they are having in the centre to date. Student surveys is another method that is utilised within the centre. These are completed at both in-class and across the entire centre, and seek to obtain authentic information as to the experiences of our current learner body. Student council is another method for student voice which is championed within the centre. This sees 2 class reps from each of the classes across the college brought together to try and obtain a diverse discourse on how these students are currently fitting in the centre. This is supported by our student support team, who provide individual and small group sessions in areas such as learning support, assignment support, guidance and counselling, among other things. However, Homer believes that further education colleges should review the purpose of some of the long-standing student voice initiatives currently used, as many of the plethora of activities have been happening for over a decade, and also that consideration should be given to conducting whole class student voice research rather than focusing on the more articulate students who more readily want to contribute. So what did my students have to say? In order to find this out, I carried out an anonymous survey completed through Microsoft Forms that seeked to find out whether or not students had been provided with feedback and given opportunities to provide us with feedback. This was completed across 4 class groups in the centre. And let's look at the results. So of those that participated, 67% said that they had received feedback from their coordinator or tutor, and 75% said they received feedback from their individual teachers. They stated that the feedback was both verbal and written in the form of end-of-term reports and Word documents, and focused on areas such as attendance, their progress to date, and accessibility to the college, including digital accessibility, among other things. So is their voice being facilitated? Well, of the participants that completed the survey, 91% felt that they have been given opportunities to provide feedback. In-class opportunities, meetings such as the Feedback Friday and the Student Tutor one-to-one meetings, along with the class reps and student council, were among the highest cited. However, only 50% said that they feel they have a voice in the college. And when asked what further opportunities they would like to see, 50% didn't know what they would like to see embedded. A key challenge for student voice is that some voices are more easily and readily heard than others. Quiet students can be overlooked. This can often be the case with formalised structure for student voice, such as student councils, where elected students represent the student community. So is the voice we hear authentic? Brookfield believes that the most fundamental meta-criterion for judging whether or not good educational practice is happening is the extent to which educators deliberately and systematically try to get inside learners' heads and see classrooms and learning from their point of view. And that the cardinal principle of seeing ourselves through learners' eyes is that of ensuring the anonymity of their critical opinions. So how can we achieve authentic voice? In their study on learner voice, the NCCA state that students need to know they have been heard and to have their input and opinions acknowledged. Homer further supports this by saying that students value a feedback loop where they are told what is happening after they have spoken, and that the college staff take both the positive and negative feedback seriously. Flynn's 5-step transformative dialogue model is one such process that a centre could implement in order to ensure that that feedback loop is happening. So what can be done in my context to ensure that we are receiving authentic learner voice and to increase from 50% the amount of learners who feel they have a voice within the centre? I believe we need to provide more opportunities for feedback. This could be through the use of forms or surveys, through in-person or digital forums, focus groups or discussion groups, through the use of anonymous Padlet or collaboration boards, by providing comments and suggestion boxes across the campus, and by ensuring diversity in the student groups that represent others, such as the Student Council, and reaching out to the minority groups which are underrepresented. And finally, I believe that we need to ensure we have student representatives on our board of management, where they have the opportunity to elicit real change in favour of the students. In conclusion, how do we ensure that we are creating opportunities for authentic student voice within our centre? Homer would argue that there needs to be a move from student consultation to one of an active culture of engagement. This requires us fostering a sense of agency in our learners, which allows them to feel empowered and to take a leadership role in relation to their learning and development. This hinges on us having supportive staff who show that they care about the students' opinions and the students' wishes. Peart further supports this sentiment by stating that facilitating learner voice means active engagement from students in the community, and that that community is achieved through a partnership between staff and students, which can open up possibilities for authentic and constructive dialogue, offering the opportunity for more holistic and reflective feedback and the enhancement of learning. Thank you.